Hello everyone, welcome back to another Vinyl Finds. These are mostly from the record show. A few of these are from garage sales and other sales like that. So yeah, let's just get right into it. First one, this was at a garage sale. It was probably like 50 cents, so I just picked up on it. Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire, with John McLaughlin on guitar. Incredible stuff. Incredible, like, jazz fusion type stuff, if you like that. John McLaughlin is probably one of the greatest guitar players I've ever heard in my life. He just absolutely shreds. This is incredible. The Who Live at Leeds. This is a fantastic album. Just an incredible live concert. I'm going to see Roger Daltrey very soon here, so that's especially why I wanted to show this. This was at a garage sale for $2, I think. I've been trying to hit the garage sales pretty hard. Live at Leeds, cool, good stuff. This one's from the record show, and this is one I've had in my want list for a very long time. And finally, a copy showed up for a price I was willing to pay. Unfortunately, it's not in the greatest shape. But Blowin' Your Mind by Van Morrison. Of course, this has the hit song Brown Eyed Girl, but I really actually enjoy this entire album. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think this is a pretty good album. It's got some more like bluesy kind of R&B songs, like TV Sheets is a long 9 minutes sort of deal. Spanish Rose was a really good song. Yeah, there's some pretty good cuts on here. I know he didn't really authorize the release of this album. The record label kind of just took a bunch of songs that he recorded and put them out without letting him know, which is, always horrible. But yeah, he hated this like psychedelic album cover. It's not psychedelic at all, really. I mean, apart from maybe the 9-minute long song, which isn't even like psychedelic. It's not really psychedelic. It just kind of looks like it. And but this is his first solo release, and it's a great album. Honestly, it's pretty good. I would recommend picking it up. These went pretty high up in price, for probably because of Brown Eyed Girl. But yeah, $8. This is a like VG copy. It's not the best, but honestly, it's really not too bad either. This next one is one that has been on my want list for a while, and I really just needed to get any album from this artist. He's absolutely fantastic, and I'm a pretty huge fan of him. This is Banana More by Kevin Ayers. I think it's Banana More. An original US press on Sire. This is from the record show. This is fantastic. I love Kevin Ayers so much. He makes some kind of strange, weird music, but he's a great songwriter, and this is definitely his most accessible of the albums he ever released. I'm really looking out for Joy of a Toy, which gets a little weird sometimes, but that one's pretty accessible too. Probably takes a few listens, and same with most of his albums, but yeah, I love Kevin Ayers. Don't Let It Get You Down is fantastic, and Shouting in a Bucket Blues I think was a hit of some sort. But this has his fellow Soft Machine members, Robert Wyatt. Steve Hillage plays on Shouting in a Bucket Blues. Kevin Ayers, which is this one, he was going to quit writing songs, and Jimi Hendrix gifted him a guitar and told him to keep writing. So if that happens to you, I think you have to continue. There's that Sire label. It's a pretty nice copy, actually. This is a very nice copy, and I'm glad I picked up on it, and super glad to have it in the collection. This next one I bought for $3, which is pretty incredible. like I said, I've been hitting the yard sales kind of hard recently. It's kind of yard sale season. I've got more to go do tomorrow and all that. But yeah, this was at the yard sale. There was a guy. I looked through all the records he had out, and it was like pretty much not good, like country records and stuff. And he went inside his house and pulled out some of his classic rock records, which he sold for $3. He pulled out a copy of Led Zeppelin 1 and put it to the side because he liked that one or something. I don't know. But this one was in the stack of $3, which is pretty incredible for this record. This is an original pressing of The Doors' LA Woman with the screen that is pretty much completely intact. I had a repress of this, and I've been looking and looking for an original, and I was just talking about it with yesterday's trips, how I wanted to get an original of it, because this is just such a cool cover. It's got the rounded corners and the window screen and the inner and stuff. And then bam, $3 at the yard sale. Like, that's just sweet. The disc is pretty trashed, actually. It's pretty bad. I don't know if I can get it in the light to show. It's probably like a G+. But, oh, there it is. Yeah, that's bad. It plays just fine. It really plays like a strong VG copy. These first pressings of this sound absolutely fantastic. Even my trash copy just sounds amazing. Completely blew my repress out of the water. People in the reviews on Discogs say this pressing sounds better than the 45 RPM, which is crazy. But I believe it because it's just incredible. And just an incredible album too. One that I haven't played in forever, but now it hasn't even left the turntable. It's just been playing so much in my house. Incredible album. I love The Doors, and that was a sweet $3 find. So these next two albums actually came from yesterday's trips. And this next one was an album that I owned and actually sold to him. And then I traded it back because I kind of regretted it. Manfred Mann's The Mighty Quinn. Of course, has The Mighty Quinn. It was written by Bob Dylan. This album is okay. The pressing sounds horrible. This is a promo copy, by the way. And I'll show the label in a second. But I'd say The Mighty Quinn, Every Day, Another Hair Turns Gray, It's So Easy Falling, Cubist Town. That's the songs I like on this. And I only play side 1, really. Side 2 is okay. I really hate the song The Vicar's Daughter for some reason. I can't even, listen to it. There's some good pop songs on here. You know, songs that get stuck in your head and you're singing them, and then you need to play the album just to get them out. This next one, again, this came from yesterday's trips. We did the record show, and a little time went by, and this was still sitting there from him, and I said, well, he didn't pay much for it, or he wasn't asking much, so I just said $5, and he was like, sure. Love for Sale, not a good copy. Really not a good copy. I did glue the seam back together. It was completely blown apart, but yeah, I really enjoyed this album. It was a lot more psychedelic and a lot more heavy than I was expecting. This is the album directly after Forever Changes, and it sounds nothing like it. He completely fired the entire band and replaced them with some incredible musicians. Jay Donovan on lead guitar, incredible. And George Saranovich on drums, he's also incredible. An amazing drummer. If you listen to this album or Out Here, he's just incredible. A really good album. These songs were recorded in the same session that Out Here was, I believe, and they kind of just handed the entire session over of 30 songs to Elektra and said, pick which ones you want to put on this album, because they had to fulfill a contract. This is on an original pressing on the red label. Somewhere back here you can probably see the condition. It's not horrible. It's not great either. This is again probably around the G plus range, but it doesn't play like that again. I'd give it a solid VG player. Glad to add it to the collection, and thank you to Yesterday's Trips. This next one was another record show purchase. Sort of a blind buy. I knew of the record. I didn't really know what it sounded like at all. But I was told that Larry Coryell played on it, so I picked it up. He gave me a good deal on it. This is the Free Spirits self-titled, and yeah, featuring Larry Coryell on guitar, who is incredible guitar player. He doesn't really like stand out on this album. My favorite part of this album is the saxophone player. He's playing like some free jazz John Coltrane licks through the whole thing, and it's great. But it starts out with Don't Look Now, but your head is turned around. It's kind of like a jangly folk rock song, like kind of Birds-like, I think. But then the second song, I'm Gonna Be Free, kicks in with the sitar, and I'm a complete sucker for the sitar. If your song has a sitar on it, I'm all in. A real sitar. But yeah, this is an original pressing, a pretty clean copy. This album is pretty good. If you're into psych, it's definitely one to check out. If you're not too into psych, then maybe you could leave this one. It's not like, I don't think it's an essential psychedelic album or anything like that. I really enjoyed this album, though it did take me a few listens. But yeah, it's pretty good. I recommend picking it up if you're really into psych, or if you see it for a good deal. These ones kind of crept up in price. I'm going to talk a little bit about my love-hate relationship with eBay. I love eBay because sometimes you get a killer deal on eBay. I have a ton of stuff saved, and it's awesome when you get a great deal. But sometimes you get like burned on eBay. Like, here's my example. This is a UK EP of a Magical Mystery Tour. But two things happened here. One, it's not an original. My fault. Should have looked it over. This is an 80s, 81, I think, reissue. Two, it was shoved into my mailbox and the disc is cracked. Really, really unfortunate. I guess that's the risk you take with the postal service. So now I don't really know what to do with this. I could source disc 1, but I could also not even try because it's not even original. I don't know. So I love eBay because I can get good deals on it, but I hate eBay because it has to go through the postal service. And I also hate eBay because sometimes it really just takes the fun out of it. For example, this record. Fantastic record. Amazing psychedelic record with Michael Lloyd from West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band and things like that. This record is like if the Beatles and the Beach Boys had a psychedelic baby. And that is not my quote. That's a quote from somewhere. I don't remember where I read it. Some website. But I think that's very accurate. It's very 60s pop sounding, but has a great psychedelic edge. Has one of the best psychedelic instrumentals I've heard in a while. The Hobbit Symphony. That's really good. I got this on eBay for a really good deal. Like I'd say half of what I would pay for it, or half that these copies in this condition would go for. Someone paid $2 for it at some point. But it would have been so much more fun if I dug this out at an antique store or at a record store or at a garage sale or something. I think with the amount of digging that I do, stuff like this comes along eventually, and it would have just been so much cooler to find it in person, and it always is for me. I just enjoy finding the record out of some bin somewhere so much more than clicking a few buttons on the internet. I've got a few more from eBay that I'm going to show. One of them I was pretty excited about. It was an import, so couldn't be upset about that. But the other one was another one that was a US pressing, but I paid, again, half of what I would have paid for a, or half of what it goes for. I really enjoy finding the records, and I think I might delete eBay from my phone again. I had it deleted for a couple months out of the year, and then reinstalled it, and then bought a bunch of records. And then, yeah, I think I'm just gonna refrain from eBay purchases for now. But this is a very solid copy. This is the original on that yellow sidewalk label. There's also a pressing on Tower, I believe. And I don't know if that counts as a second pressing, or this counts as a second pressing, or if they're pressed at the same time or whatever. If anyone has any info on that, that would be nice. But yeah, it's a bit weird. Had some really short songs, but this is fantastic. This next one is a bit out of step of everything I was just talking about, but it was so cool that I found this, and I paid $15 for it, and it's like a really nice copy, and I've never seen this one before, so yeah, this was at the record show. The Super Blues Band, with Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, and Bo Diddley. And this is a mono promo copy. I'll pull out the disc in a minute. Wow, what a lineup. You know, that's insane. Like, how did this even come to be? Unfortunately, this record is weird. It's pretty... I enjoyed listening to it. It's really fun. It's a fun listen. I wouldn't say it's like a great album or anything. It's just like they're kind of went in the studio and messed around. I feel like they're like yelling at each other in the songs. They were like, I was reading somewhere they were talking about how they were rivals, and it feels like Howlin' Wolf is competing with them the whole time, which I kind of see that, but also it kind of just sounds like they went in the studio and had a little fun recording some blues songs. It's nothing like incredible, but a really enjoyable listen, and like I said, got a sweet deal on it, on a mono promo copy, a really clean mono promo copy at that. But there's that DJ copy on Checker Records. I don't know if I have anything else on this label. I don't think I do, so this is the first one, and glad to have it in the collection. It's a cool album. It's really an insane lineup and really cool stuff, but it's weird. It's a fun listen. It's not a great listen. These next two are also from eBay. This one I was really excited about. The other one I was also really excited about, but in a different way. In the same way I was excited about The Smoke. If I had found it in person, it would have been way better. But this one, very happy with, because I probably would have had to go the reissue route anyways. And yeah, The Stooges, self-titled. But this is a 1982 or 3 French pressing. Yeah, it was a really good deal on eBay, and this is just one that I've been really needing for a long time. And finally, a copy popped up, and it was cheap, so I went for it. I looked up vinyl record on eBay and sorted by newest, and this was one of the first ones, and it was a really good deal. That's probably how I got it so quickly. But here's that Electra label from France. It's a really clean copy too. Pretty much near mint. It says face one instead of side one, which is pretty interesting. This pressing sounds great too. This was a justified eBay purchase for me. I would no regrets on this one. Unlike the Magical Mystery Tour or even The Smoke. There's a little bit of regret on those, but None at all on this one. This hasn't left the turntable either. I just needed a copy of it, any copy. They wrote this album in basically one night. I think they had 1969 and I Wanna Be Your Dog already, written and recorded and released or whatever. And for the record label, they played the entire album they had envisioned live for them, and they didn't like it. They said they needed more structured songs, and they said, oh yeah, we got more structured songs, and they didn't. So they went home and wrote like all of the songs on this album, which is awesome. I probably prefer Funhouse, but this is an incredible album, so important, and I'm on the lookout for that first press, which I will get one day, but not yet. The final album I have to show, this is a Grail. This is a really cool record, a really cool copy of this record. In My Own Time by Karen Dalton. In the shrink wrap with those price stickers. This had been discounted multiple times. There's a sticker on top of a sticker here. This 44-cent sticker is on top of another sticker, and there's a sticker on the front. Again, that's putting it for 15 cents, and I guess nobody bought it, which is crazy because this album is incredible. I think Discogs lists it as a country folk, which kind of, it's kind of more like folk rock, I'd say, but just such a mellow listen. You can like put it on the turntable and lay down and like breathe, because it just comes in with Something on Your Mind. Incredible track. The whole album's incredible, honestly. She didn't really write songs, I don't think. A lot of these songs, or all of the songs, are written by other people. A couple covers, a couple traditional songs. Dino Valenti wrote Something on Your Mind, who did stuff with Quicksilver Messenger Service and all that. She was involved with the Greenwich Village folk scene in New York, played with Bob Dylan and all that, but she never got her recording contract until much later. She has an incredibly unique voice. It's very, very strange. I feel like it's maybe not for everyone, but I love her voice so much. She just has so much soul and feeling. This is pretty much a near mint copy, a near mint original, which is fantastic. It's so great, to own this, and this might be in my top 10 finds of the year. Probably will be. But did I really find it? If it was on eBay, this has Harvey Brooks on bass. Harvey Brooks kind of, I think, was pushing her at the time to record music. She was a bit reluctant to record on her first album. I think the only way they got her to sing her songs was to trick her into think they weren't recording, and she recorded them all in like one take. With this one, they like brought her family and her dogs and stuff into the studio, and she felt much more comfortable, and like she actually recorded these songs. But yeah, this is incredible, absolutely incredible, on that Just Sunshine label, who is a subsidiary of Paramount Records. But yeah, incredible. Highly recommend just giving it a listen. It's just great mellow music that's just great for any time. That brings us to the end of this video. Let me know what you think about eBay, about buying stuff on eBay. I love and hate eBay, Gotten some really cool stuff, gotten some of my favorite records that I own on eBay, but it just would have been so much more satisfying to find them in person. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.